Hey players, I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz' bestie and partner in crime has finally been sentenced, honey. As we know, Joe Greenberg struck a deal with federal prosecutors back in May. He pled guilty to 6 separate charges on May 17th of 2021. The charges were trafficking a child, illegally producing false identification documents, aggravated identity theft, wire fraud, stalking, and conspiracy. Now, he was initially facing 33 charges, and baby, he was facing decades in prison if he had been convicted of those charges, and the evidence was overwhelming. But he struck this plea deal with federal prosecutors, and all he had to do was snitch like a bitch. So Joe Greenberg has been cooperating with federal prosecutors since 2021, and that could only mean bad news for Hetty McPherson down here, the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz, Joe Greenberg's bestie. Now, just yesterday at a hearing for Joe Greenberg, the judge actually scolded the Justice Department for its slow investigation. The judge said that the government has had a lot of time to conclude these investigations, and he said that it's concerning that there are extensive investigations ongoing with no end in sight. A few weeks ago, the Justice Department did tell lawyers for people who could face legal exposure in the sex trafficking probe that there is no update on the status of the case. According to what Joe Greenberg's attorney said this morning, he's surprised that Hetty McPherson, aka the privileged pervert, aka Matt Gaetz, hasn't been charged already.
You're saying that you have seen. Are you shocked that Gaetz haven't been arrested yet?
I'm shocked. I am disappointed by a number of prosecutions that haven't been brought.
Including that one?
Pardon?
Including that one?
Let me think about how I'm going to answer that. I think there's a number of prosecutions that can be brought in the area of the SBA fraud, the bribery and kickbacks, election fraud, and the sex cases.
Child, he seen the evidence. He would know. So Joe Greenberg was sentenced to 11 years in prison this morning. This sentence comes close to what prosecutors were requesting. Now, like I told you before, he actually was facing around 33 charges. He pled guilty to 6. And baby, when I tell you they lit it up. They lit it up. But he could have got a whole lot more if he wouldn't have started snitching. So we'll see what comes out in the washing and the writing of this, honey. Players, I really want to know what you think about this. Put your thoughts in the comments. This is Double D Muffin reporting for the Black Accurate News, where I'm black and the news is always petty but accurate.